Why? Why? Because of the speed of work, the ease of cutting, and longevity of the disc. So the arguments are there. People tried them, came to the conclusion that actually the performance of the disc was absolutely great, was absolutely nice, longevity, longer working with the same disc, and easier working. I can't point it out enough. The comfort of the disc, the ease of working of the disc, you don't need to have the pressure. The grain actually works amazingly. It cuts, it slices through the material, through your hardox, through steel, stainless steel. It actually performs very, very well. So it was a great step forward with our disc, the 125 or the 115 by 1 millimeter. But there was something missing. What was missing was the thicknesses of 1.3 and 1.6 millimeter. We needed to develop also there a next generation, the newest generation of CERABOND X cutting discs in 1.3 and 1.6 millimeter. So this has been done now, and the disc is going to be launched as I'm speaking today. So what did we do? What has been changed in comparison to the previous generation? The first thing is the grain. The ceramic grain used in the disc is a new design, is a precision shaped grain actually. So the grain also has been treated in a way that it actually fits into the resin in an amazing way. Also, how it wears. The wear of the grain always will have a sharp cutting edge. So which leads to the point that it keeps cutting absolutely great till even the moment the grain is done, is released, new grain pops up and keeps working. So this is because of the shaped grain that we have, the treated grain that we have is leading to this better performance in comparison to the previous generation. Now the grain is entirely designed, developed and made within the Tyrolit group. So we have every parameter, we control that, and this leads to the fact that we have a grain that's absolutely performing very, very well. So that's already the first thing that we've done, is that grain. Now the second thing that we needed to design and develop also to get to this performance is the resin. Because you can't just copy the resin of the 1 millimeter and use that for the 1.3 and a 1.6. So we needed to redesign it as well, so which we've done. So we came out with a resin that actually will hold that shaped grain till the last moment, the last possible moment. Remember what I said, it is self-sharpening, so even at that last moment, it is still cutting. Then it's done, released, new grains take over, and this resin will do exactly that. It will hold that grain till the very last moment, that everything of that grain is almost completely used before he releases it, and he gets to the other one. Also, because of that cutting performance, you have less heat development. Less heat development will lead to a better lifetime. Your resin will not be attacked as much through heat. So also there you have an element that plays into the better performance of the disc, the longevity of the disc. So these are all different elements that came to play that were involved in developing of that new CERABOND X cutting disc. So absolutely great. So we now have a full range, 1 millimeter, 1.3 and 1.6 millimeter are now available in the newest generation CERABOND X. So already a great thing, Now also the packaging. I'm very much aware that you know the standard packaging that we have. This is the old one for the previous generation CERABOND X. There's this one. So now we're going to the new one. So they're all going to look the same, but I just want to point out that we do have 1.3, 1.6 millimeter discs, all the same packaging, all this airtight container. Why do we do that? Why would we do that? Because it's more expensive, and so on and so on. There are absolute benefits to that. Why? The disc is protected against humidity. Humidity has an influence on the performance on the resin. So the influence of humidity will have consequences. Now the packaging first, to explain that, this is 100% recycled plastic. 100% recycled. So yes, we try to do our part. Also the plastic can be 100% recycled afterwards, after the reuse, or you can use it for other purposes. You can put in bolts, screws, whatever you can put in there as a container for that. So this is 100% recycled and can be 100% recycled afterwards. So this will protect your disc. So airtight, protected against humidity, because humidity will age the disc. As the disc, as humidity will also age like me, faults and all that, that kind of stuff. So in this case, we are protecting that disc. Now that protection will lead to, if we would put it in the normal cardboard packaging, you will have a difference that can go up to 40% if I package it like that or this. That difference is 40 up to 40%. That is a lot. So if you leave your discs in there, and this is the good thing, it's nothing complicated. You open the container, take out a disc, you close it quickly, done. You protect your disc, you get a better performance, an additional performance, 40% plus, up to 40% plus you get out of that. By something as easy as this. That's not too bad, I would say. That's not too bad. So this whole thing is now also in the 1.3, 1.6, and of course the 1mm discs. So a full portfolio of slitting and cutting discs that we have now in the newest generation CERABOND X. The sharp grain, the renewing grain, the shaped grain, and the resin that came to it. Of course, also the glass fiber has been absolutely optimized to get the best performance out of that disc. So now I've been talking quite a bit. I would rather also show you what the disc can do. For that purpose, I have a big stainless steel, not stainless, a big steel pipe. This is what we're talking about. That's the one that I have in here. This I just got before. This is so serious pipe that I'm going to do one, cut off one ring with the old generation and with the newest one. So to show you the difference in performance, I've done some cuts before, so I can show you later on also that. But first of all, I want to show you live. I have 1.3mm. Now let's find also there the 1.3. There we go. A 1.3mm. See how I closely this nicely, the container. So that's on there. So one cut, then after that I'm going to do with the newest one cut, and then after that we'll have a look at both of the discs. So, that went nice, in my experience. Let's see at the difference. So I'm going to take also a new disc that we can very good see the difference between all that. The previous generation, I'm going to light all there. There we go. And I think this explains it quite well. A bit more down. There we go. So, new one, the newest generation. The previous generation, you can see the difference in just one cut. Also, the effort that I needed to do, the ease of work with the newest one is better. It goes smoother through that. You don't have to force it through that. It goes nicely through the material. Now, also to show you that what the results were before, I'm going to do that like this. And there's another one. There we go. I'll try to do a little bit there. There we go. That's good. I can do it like that. You can see all four of them are almost identical. So the difference confirms it every time I've done this. It confirms it. So you get actually the same result every time again. It just confirms the whole thing. So this is pretty cool because you get more performance and it's easier to work. And I really mean that. It makes it easier, nicer to work with the whole thing. You don't have to pressure that. Let the machine do the job. Don't force it into. A lot of people try to force it into. Now this actually goes well. So that's the 1.3. Now, of course, we have the 1.6. Now, the 1.6, I'll just do a quick demonstration on a piece of Hardox that I have over there, a little bit of stainless steel. Now, one of the applications where I would absolutely, where the 1.6 was introduced was at a very large shipyard where we were doing a training, with a large group of people, of employees of them, and they had a problem. They had an issue. The issue they had is that they had to work above their head because there was a part that they needed to cut down, about 15, 20 millimeters thick, that they needed to cut down in order to grind it down. So the more they could cut off, the better that was, and the easier, because working like that is not an easy one. So they tried out the new CERABOND X 1.6 millimeter, and the operators came back and they were absolutely enthusiastic. That was like, for them, it made it easier. They didn't use any force. It went through that as, I would say, butter. So it made their life easier. Plus, you can work with the same disc longer. That's a win-win. Absolutely. So this is one of the things that disc can do. Now to show you the 1.6. There we go. The 1.6 millimeter, as I said, just a quick cut off on some Hardox and stainless steel. And then we go over to the new CERABOND X grinding disc as well. So. So 1.6, a wide cut on the material, wide cut. Also on the stainless steel, no coloring of the material, which is actually great. And also the wear on the disc is practically nothing. So also that kind of tougher materials to work on, like the Hardox, it makes it easy. Like there's nothing to measure of wear on that disc. So this is pretty cool. Now, the last thing that I want to explain to you for today is also the CERABOND X grinding disc. Why the grinding disc, what is new with it is basically the CERABOND X COMFORT grinding disc. So the CERABOND X COMFORT grinding disc, the one that we have here, is basically an expansion. Why? Because we already had CERABOND X COMFORT in 230 and 178 millimeters. So, but not in 125. So why did we develop the COMFORT? Is for less vibration. For when people say that the disc is a bit too hard, vibrates a little bit too much, we have the COMFORT, softer resin, a softer bonding system, creating less vibration, easier, more comfortable to work with. But the easy thing would be to have the same recipe to use for a 125 millimeter disc, which unfortunately doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. That's bad luck for us. We needed to redesign the whole thing to come up with a 125 millimeter disc, make it a COMFORT one. So meaning a softer bonding system, a softer resin, less vibration for working, but still with this high stock removal rate. And this we managed to do. So we do have that now. CERABOND X COMFORT in a 125/7 is now a disc that is more comfortable to work with, less vibration, which is great for the operator, still having that stock removal rate you would expect from the CERABOND X range. And this is basically what the disc can do, will do. So this is a new addition to that range of CERABOND X, like the 2-in-1. Now we have CERABOND X 2-in-1 COMFORT, also in the smaller sizes. So that's new to that. To give you a quick example, I've used the disc already before. Quick example on that is on the pipe that I've been working on to chamfer a little bit, bevel a little bit on that. So going this side to show you quickly how that goes. It's an easy one. The disc is designed to work on stuff like that. Makes it a little bit more difficult because you work on an edge. So I need to see that I don't gouge in too much because it is aggressive, and show you how that works. As you can see, a lot of material has been taken off. Very easy, and I'm not sure if it was visible, but also with not too much pressure. Light working on that. I didn't lean into it, just light pressure, and it will go through that very, very quickly. And also the wear on the disc. As I said, I've been working with the disc before. There's absolutely no, a little bit of a bevel that starts to be created there, but that's it. But it works fast. So the stock removal is absolutely there. So that was it. So thank you very much for being here. I hope it was interesting concerning the newest developments on the CERABOND X range that we have, the new cutting disc 1.3 and 1.6 with the new grains, and the new CERABOND X grinding disc Comfort in 125 in the smaller sizes. So thank you very much for being here, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time at Tyrolit Tool School. All the best and take care. Bye-bye.